you very much. Am I audible?
Absolutely audible and visible.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for. I congratulate the efforts by the pitch people for this, and your endeavors are highly commendable. And this is a great opportunity for me to be here at. Okay, how much time I get? 10 minutes, 5 minutes? How much is the time? Anybody would like to give me 5 minutes or 10 minutes? 10
15
minutes?
minutes, sir. You can take 15 minutes.
15 minutes is too long, like a kind of thing. 2:30, it's only 2:27. So 10 to 15 minutes time would like to take it. And I also would like to have some questions from actually, for example, from Hemant or uh, the gentleman Rishi or Anthony or anybody for that matter, Joseph, Satish or Sujit, anybody for that matter. I'm open for questions. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm a professor. In the last 40 years, I'm in education, and I love education, and I believe that education can really, really make a change. You ask any educated person, they tell that it's an education which made the difference. If somebody says that education has not made the difference in their life, it's a foolishness like that. Okay, it's an education which makes the human being. Of course, human beings can be there without an education. So, and especially a deprived and poor people in the world. The world is full of deprived and poor people. So they constitute almost out of 700 crores, 7 billions. They constitute 6 billions, maybe around more than 6.5 billions. So education should make the difference. The problem is that education is not making the difference. Education is harming people. Education has become a addiction. Education has become a poison. Education has become a slower. Education has become a source of distress. So that's the reason why I talk here that there are ways through which education can be made. The moment we are changing from these negatives, if you are removed, education becomes enterprising. Everybody becomes an enterprise, entrepreneur like that. So I would like to tell 2, 3 points here about education. Why the education is causing so much of harm. So I would like to make a simple statement. So education is not an execution. I would like to type it so that people will be able to understand this thing like, okay? So education is not, is not, please understand, I am not telling that this thing, no. Education is not execution. Look at the way youngsters, Gen Z students are there, and in a country like India, we got around 5 crore students. 5 crores. So 5 crore students, they are not executing. They are not, education is not just implementation. It's not application, not implementation. And that is the reason I say education is not execution. This is the primary kind of thing. The moment the education becomes an execution, it is implementation, it is an application, it is an engagement. The whole thing will be different. That's what the pitch, that's what an entrepreneurship, that's what the requirement of the world today, either AI or internet, whatever is that. The moment educated or implementing, applying, the problem of education is solved, and education becomes an amazing kind of a auzar. Auzar. Basically, it becomes a tool to make the human beings, human welfare very well. So that's the reason why I said execution, not, I mean, education is not an execution. That's one thing. Second, more important thing is, even if we're in execution, some people say that, I mean, it's how come you can say that there are a lot of people who go to the company and they're doing internships, they are doing OCTs, who are doing TCTs, they are doing some CTs like that. Actually, the problem of execution in the name of somebody else is not also is a true implementation. This is not Swaraja. This is not Swadeshi. This is not Swayatta. It's not Swamya. It's not owned by a learning person. It is owned by somebody else. Yes, boss. So this is basically called about education is an employment seeking vocation. So this is the problem of this thing. This has to be removed. So that's the reason why we say that an individual learner, when they implements and applies, executes, he will become a full-fledged person. This is one statement. I will extend the statement further. Education is not an execution, and further I say that it is also not enterprising way. Education is not an execution, and it is non-enterprising execution. This is the most important. It's a non-value added activity. The moment education becomes value added activity, it becomes enterprising. My message through this, my message through this keynote is that education should not only become execution, but also an enterprising execution, value add execution. Padai, Padai, it's not only practical, but also it is productive. So education has to be practical and any comments, please. You should respond to me. Education has to be practical and also to be productive. Anybody would like to compliment, would like to criticize, would like to बोलो ना कोई तो बोलो ना. Practical is execution, productive is enterprising, and all learning can be made into practical and productive. There is no learning which cannot be, all learning can be made into practical and productive. That's the beauty about it. Zoology, botany, mathematics, physics, philosophy, economics, any subject. Some people say that how come we can make mathematics practical? There is applied mathematics, man. How somebody says that how come you can make economics? How come you can make just one sec? Just one sec. So some people say that how come you can make economics applied? Actually, there is an applied economics. It's not only applied economics, but also you should arise value out of it. When education is enterprising, when education is engaging, there is no need for employment, and everybody become a human capitalist. I'll write here. I'll write here. Please understand, all educated or all educated are human capitalists. Human capitalization means you convert human capital into capitalization. Actually, that's what. So actually, education means you'll become self-sufficient, self-reliant. You don't require a jobs. You are feel free. This is quite possible. So this is quite possible for us in terms of making an education very simple kind of thing. What we need to do is that we should convert education into an execution in an enterprising way. That's all. E is equal to E into E. I call it as education is productive and also practical. Today, the problem is it's neither practical, it's absolutely theoretical. Number two, it's unproductive. So, being a professor, I look forward for a country, the world where every educated is learns in a practical way, in a productive way, in a in an engaging way, in a application way where value added is arising out of the whole exercise. So when this is being done, there is no need for jobs. There is enough jobs available. There is people who will be offering jobs to these parts of an entrepreneurship, which I say that I look forward for a day where it is done. Technology can enable people to and execute well, enterprise well. Technology can never harm people because human capital is such a wonderful thing which can be able to help people to apply technology to come out with a better results. So, my dear friends, this is my important message on entrepreneurship. I strongly believe it. And I go anywhere and everywhere I talk about this, saying that worldwide education should be able to make this self-sufficiency. Education expenses are earned in education, through education, and for education, which I give the message. Education expenses are earned in education, through education, and for education. अरे यार ये क्या बड़ी बात है. दिस इज नॉट ए डिफिकल्ट. एंड हमारे सामने ऐसी मारवाड़ी बेटा है, जैन साहब बेटा है, तो आप सोच सकता है कि खुद का पैसे खुद का कमा, खुद का खाना खुद पढ़ाई से क्यों नहीं कमा सकता है. इतने सिंपल है. खाना तो हर एक आदमी खाता है. एवरीबडी कैन ईट इट. हाउ कम an educated person cannot apply his own education and earn one's living? That is the seed of it. That's the bija of it. That is the seed of it. And we expect the 7 billion people in this on the earth, 700 crore people can become. And it's not just about educated, it's about self-reliant people becoming the seed of it. And platforms like Pitch, they cultivate, they inculcate, they develop on this path. I'm amazed to see last time, 14 years, a boy and a girl, they are entrepreneurs. They are talking about enterprises. Yes. How come an MBAs cannot do? How come engineers cannot do? How come JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, 6,000 students are there in Delhi campus. How come they cannot make it? Why they require jobs? How come they cannot be able to do that? एक गांव में रहता है, विलेज में रहता है, इनके लिए these people can become mentors. So I feel that it's not a cottage industries. What we look for is that college industries. I'll repeat. It's not cottage industries. Once upon a time, there used to be cottage industries. अनपढ़ लोग पापड़ बनाते थे. अनपढ़ लोग पापड़ बना के वो बेच देते. That used to be cottage industry. Today, we have an educated people, youngsters are there. We require to have college industries. We require in the place of student unions. I'm not telling that union should go. We require student unicorns. I'll repeat, student unions to students unicorns. And these students, yeah, thanks for the compliment. अरे और एक भी अच्छा कॉम्प्लीमेंट दे दे, हम भी ऐसा खुश हो जाएंगे. आप क्लैप्स भी दे सकते हैं हमारे लिए, क्या बड़ी बात है. स्टूडेंट यूनियंस टू स्टूडेंट यूनिकॉर्न्स, ये इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. आई सेड कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज टू कॉलेज इंडस्ट्रीज. एज अ फार्मा कॉलेज, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, आर्किटेक्चर कॉलेज, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, आईटी कॉलेज, अरे लॉ कॉलेज क्यों नहीं बनाते भाई? इंडस्ट्री क्यों नहीं बनाते? तो व्हाट्स यू आर लैकिंग? आपके पास सरस्वती है, लक्ष्मी क्यों नहीं बना सकते? तो ज्ञान से धन मिलने वाला है भाई. एक्चुअली व्हाट यू कन्वर्टेड इज, आप धन को ज्ञान में बदल दिया था. ओनली थिंग इज इट हैज टू बी कन्वर्टेड. नो, human capacities, human capital, please understand, human capital is nothing but converting cash into capability. Question is that capability to cash, it completes the loop. Enterprising is a very simple activity. It is misunderstood. It is not understood within economics. And Gen Z students with the kind of energy, the kind of technology backed by, the kind of network they got it, the kind of amazing kind of a backup technology, it is quite possible that we can create a Swarga on this earth. We don't require Swarga to go there to the top and enjoy there, but actually we can have it today here itself. We can have it. So this is, I feel as a professor, education is the problem. This is the spoil, and this can be done with the support, with the kind of backing of people like Hemant, Rishi, and all these kind of stars will make it. 700 crore people will make them self-reliant, and we'll be able to show the path. These are my few words. Already I am on to 2045. Yeah. Few questions I would like to entertain, if you don't mind.
Sure, sir. So, thank you, sir, for it. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, any questions for Mandi, sir? This is the time to catch him outside the irons.
Curiosity, questions, experiments, feedback, better thinking. Yeah. Please understand, curiosity, questions, experiments, feedback, better thinking should convert it to cash. I call it as CASH, not KASH. KASH means knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits. KASH. I call it as CASH is currency. Curiosity should get into CASH. Questions should lead into CASH. Actually, when the questions become CASH, truth is revealed. Cash reflects the truth. The value is an indirect signal, indirect proof of truth. Please understand, when customer is paying money, it means that what you're doing is valid. That's the beauty about it. So curiosity, questions, experiments must in an enterprising way. Enterprising is value add. Actually, curiosity is value erosion is there. Questions requires value erosion. Experiments involve outlays. Feedback has to spend money. Thinking requires energy. Please understand, the same energy has to be twisted, tweaked, so that you'll be able to create value for the whole world. Agriculture is nothing but value erosion, but it is value addition. The whole nature is value addition, not value erosion. Value conversion into better value and better value into better value. So These are all great points like curiosity, questions, experiments, feedback, better thinking. Without this, the world cannot run. We need this thing. I'm not saying that you're money minded. You should be saying that you should become a capitalist. Capitalist with chinta, capitalist with consciousness, human capitalist with human consciousness. Yes, HC means for me as an education, the more human capitalist, the more humanly conscious people. Chetana. Go ahead.
Fantastic.